Have you ever heard of a vision narrative? Today I'm going to tell you what it is, why your business needs one, and how to create one. Hi, I'm Jennifer Drago, and on the Peak to Profit channel, we help solopreneurs grow their business through a laser-focused strategy known as the Peak Formula. So let's dig into this vision narrative. So you may have heard about a vision statement. Generally, it's paired with a mission statement, and it's an aspirational sentence that's supposed to describe the future state of the company. The problem is that it's one sentence, it's not very descriptive, generally does not give much information about where the organization is headed. Instead, I advocate to create a vision narrative, also known as a portrait of the organization in the future. It's a series of 6 to 10 statements that descriptively portray the company and attributes of the company and its clients in the future. Michael Hyatt, well-known business author, wrote this book called The Vision-Driven Leader, and in it he calls it a vision script. I've always called it a vision narrative, so I'm going to stick with that. It is aspirational, it's attractive, it's intended to be inspirational, both to you, your leadership team, your frontline staff, your board members, anybody that you will use it with to rally around this vision of the future. It's a description of the destination that your organization hopes to reach in a period of generally 3 to 5 years. You pick one time frame, generally 3 years or 5 years, depending on your industry. It's a portrait of your moonshot, where you want to go. And if nobody has that vision, if you're not casting that vision as the leader of the organization, no one can follow you. No one will know how to get there. Even you won't know how to get there because you haven't clearly articulated where it is you want your organization to go. And you know what they say, if you don't know where you're going, any path will get you there. So this vision narrative is absolutely the very first step that I have any organization take when they're starting a strategic planning process. Andy Stanley says, direction, not intention, determines your destination. So you have the destination in mind first, and then you, as the leader of the organization, direct the organization and its assets toward that destination. In fact, as I mentioned, a vision narrative is the very beginning of any planning process and will allow you to then create an annual plan and goals that are strategic and move the organization in that direction. So we start generally with a vision, which is again usually 3 years, sometimes a little bit longer. We create annual plans from that vision. We then create quarterly goals, weekly objectives, and daily tasks. So you can see how it all cascades, but it has to start with that vision narrative. So let's talk about how you create a vision narrative. So first you want to gather your team. Generally you don't want to do this by yourself. Okay, so say you're a solopreneur. Do you have a business advisor who can sit with you? Is your partner someone who knows where you want the organization to head and can be an extra set of eyes and voice for the business? Generally, you don't want to do it by yourself because sometimes as entrepreneurs, we have self-doubt that creeps in and we wonder if we can really make it as far as we want to. So we want some people to push us a little bit. So that's why generally it's better to do it with more than one person. Next, you want to pick the time frame for your destination. So 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I've done it as short as 2 years for an organization that had a really aggressive growth plan. Pick a time frame. I would say 3 years is probably most standard. You can always revise it in a time period before that if you grow faster than you even projected that you might. But 3 years tends to be good for most organizations to have a time horizon for your narrative. Okay, so if we're going 3 years from now and I'm creating this video in 2021 in October, I'm going to say by October of 2024, my organization will, and then colon, and then start to list some of the statements that answer these questions. Who will we be serving and how many clients will we be serving by that time period? What will be our sales numbers or our revenue numbers, however we like to manage revenues? How will our products change do we have one product now, but we might have a series of products. Maybe we'll have physical in addition to digital products by that 3-year horizon. How will our geographic area change? And what will the measurable impact be that we have? How will our team need to change during that period in order to make all that growth happen? How many team members will we need to have? Will we need to fill key leadership positions that we don't have on board today? And what other ways would we use to describe the growth and the change of the organization in the future? So remember, all of this is in descriptive terms, thinking as though we're speaking in October of 2024 or whatever time horizon you're looking at when you're doing this. So I'm going to read you a vision narrative of a local nonprofit organization that I worked with, and their board brainstormed after describing the challenges that it faced and things that it wanted to overcome in the period of this vision narrative, which is a 5-year period. This is what they came up with. In 2026, this organization serves twice as many clients through enhanced awareness and increased hour of operations, Monday through Saturday. Has completed its 2021-22 capital campaign and successfully expanded its building, providing 3,000 square feet of additional space. Is led by paid staff members whose positions are funded through annual contributions, including an executive director, volunteer coordinator, and a marketing/fundraising manager. Benefits from a strong core of volunteers who have doubled in number since 2021, each committed to providing 2 or more shifts per month. Benefits from a strong and engaged board of directors with diverse experience and backgrounds, and enjoys a waiting list of community leaders and influencers who desire to join its board. Is well known in the community for its signature fundraising event, which nets over $100,000 per year and introduces hundreds of new prospective donors to the organization's mission. Has built a consistent and reliable stream of annual donations, including representation in the budgets of the core cities served by the organization. Actively pursues partnerships and service enhancements, such as delivery of its products. So that's an example of, almost 10 statements that describe where that organization is headed and what it will look like 5 years from now. Do you want to know how you can create a vision narrative for your own organizations? I've linked to a freebie in the notes below, which will provide you with the questions that you need to ask yourself and your team in order to create this portrait of your organization's future. Do you want to know what comes next after you create the portrait of your organization's future? Subscribe to our weekly newsletter at peak2profit.com and you will learn all the aspects of the PEAK formula, which is planning, execution, analysis, and knowledge. Thanks for watching.